What's going on, guys? Bama'S Outdoors back with you again today, and we're out on the creeks again. This particular stretch of creek I have not fished before, and I've been wanting to fish it for a long time, and now that we have our waders, gives us access to get in there and fish some of these spots we haven't fished. This is one particular area that doesn't get too much traffic, which leads me to believe there might be some fish in here. But before we get started, and I know I'm kind of in a dark area, it's overcast today. Could be raining here in the next hour or so. But I've had some questions. Ugly stick. This little rod and reel here cost me less than $50. And since I've gotten this rod and reel, we have probably caught anywhere from 250 to 300 trout just on this little rod and reel. And so you don't have to go out and spend a tremendous amount of money when you're trying to catch these fish. Something as simple as this right here, something as cheap as this right here will do the job. And it's worked fantastic for me, and I'm pretty sure it would work great for you. And the second thing I can share with you guys, fishing line up at Walmart also, relatively cheap, low visibility, which is very important when you're trout fishing. I've had great success with this. This happens to be 6-pound test, but I sometimes use anything between 2 to 6. I think currently on my rod and reel I have 4-pound test, but I have this in my bag just in case I need to spool back up again. It's like I said, cheap, gets the job done. We'll set this back down here. As far as hooks are concerned, I use these rotating. You can get them. You can get them with a little bit of a longer shank, which I prefer, especially when I use floating worms and things of that nature. You can get them also with the shorter shank if you're going to use something like power bait or salmon eggs or things of that nature. But these hooks have really done well for me over the past couple years, and I'm a big fan of them, and I don't go trout fishing without having some of these number 8 hooks. Normally the way I rig up my fishing pole is, obviously we got our hook right. I'll put this number 8 hook on, and then normally I will set my split shot up, you know, anywhere from 6 inches on up to about a foot above there. It really depends on what kind of current I'm fishing. And this little setup's going to work for you in just about every situation. Relatively inexpensive. Like I said, I've had great success with it. And if any of you guys have taken the time to watch my previous videos on trout fishing, you know that we normally catch quite a few fish. Now that's not always the case. Some days we go out and we only catch a couple fish. But our bait, floating worms. It really depends on where you get them at as far as the price is concerned. These things can vary anywhere from $4 on up to $5 a pack, which I believe is a little bit hefty if you ask me as far as price goes. But 99% of the time I catch most of my fish on these little baits. There are occasions where I will switch over to power bait. I'll put on a spinner and things of that nature to catch my fish. So if I was going to go trout fishing, I most definitely would not leave home without a couple of my basic setup. Very simple. Anyone can do it. And hopefully that answers the question that I've been getting on my videos. If you have any other questions after you watch the video and you watch it all the way to the end, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try to answer your question the best I can. This worked for me here in Georgia. Where you're located at, it may be a little bit different. But let's get on the water, guys. Let's see if we can't catch a fish. Hopefully the noise of the water doesn't drown me out so you can't hear me. May add some music on this video, but we're gonna fish. So I'm headed out, guys. Hang tight, and thanks for watching. Alright guys, I found this nice little pool here. One thing that I forgot to mention a minute ago is something that's absolutely essential when you're trout fishing. Well, actually, it's absolutely essential when you're doing any kind of fishing. And that is to make sure to even stop by a place like a Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, you know, Dick's Sporting Goods Academy, anywhere like that, and pick yourself up some polarized glasses. To me, that's one of the biggest keys to being successful in trout fishing. Right now, I can look into this pool. It's a little murky. We had a little rain last night, but I can still see all the way to the bottom, all the way to the other side. It's not that deep, but for a creek, this is a decent pool. I don't see any fish in there. That's the first thing I do when I come up on a place like this, is I look for some fish running here and there to kind of give me an idea if there's even a fish there. But even if I don't see a fish, I always cast anyway, because I'll tell you what, anybody who's done any trout fishing knows that trout are extremely elusive. And when I mean elusive, I mean they have a great ability to camouflage themselves in the water. And if you're not looking at them just right, if you don't catch them just right, moving or something of that nature, you'll swear up and down there's no fish in there. And as you can tell, this is my second cast. I haven't seen any movement in the water. I haven't had a strike. So probably after this last cast right here, I'm going to move on up, because one thing I have learned about trout, and it could vary from situation to situation, and that is that trout love to bite within your first or second cast. And I think it's probably got a lot to do with the element of surprise. You know, they see something new coming through the water there, and they got to hit it. All right, we're going to move to another pool and see if we can't find some fish. This little area right here doesn't have any fish in it. And one more little thing I want to share with you before we move up, and that is, don't be afraid to cast in areas where it's shallow. You can see down here that it's a lot shallower. A lot of people love to go past the areas where the water is shallow, I guess for various reasons. They believe they're going to get hung up and stuff like that, and yeah, and sometimes you might. But some of the biggest trout I've ever caught since I've been trout fishing has actually been in shallow areas that a lot of people have a tendency just to walk past, because everybody's looking for a nice deep pool. So what we're going to do is we're going to move up, try not to bust our butt today, and maybe talk about some more things I do. All right, guys. We just fished another little pool. No fish. And the reason probably is this area probably gets a lot of traffic. And a big portion of the fish maybe have been already caught. But you can see I'm standing behind this log. Somebody's put rocks up on top of this. Probably some children or something like that. But either way, you know there's been people here. When I come up on a spot like I'm about to come up on, y'all give me a minute. I'm gonna cross this rock. Cross this tree. Usually an area like this is a great place for the trout to school up together, which means normally when I come up on it, if they are schooling up, like I said previously, I can see them running back and forth. I don't see any fish currently, but that doesn't mean there's not any fish in here. A lot of times those trout love to hide themselves right below that white water. And if you know anything about trout, they normally like to keep their face facing against the current. That's for more oxygen. So if you're ever out wading, one thing I'd recommend is don't wade downstream, because when you wade downstream, a lot of times there's a trout after my bait, so I know there's one in there. He just came up and looked at it. When you wade downstream, what you do is you disturb the bottom, and that dirt and that silt and all that stuff washes down the creek. And it's kind of like a key to the fish. That's a little bit tougher. You know, you're wading against the current. But normally, right there's one. Look, guys. Oh, I missed him. We had a fish on, guys. I normally don't do a lot of talking in my videos, and I get to talking about things, lose my concentration a little bit. I should have had that fish. But we're not going to give them. Don't always mean we're going to catch them. But we'll make those extra casts this time where we moved pretty. Yeah, I got a bite. Got a bite. All right, here we go. Nice little trout. And remember, when I came up on this spot, I didn't see those fish. I didn't have any idea what was in there. But I cast it in that area there where I couldn't see the bottom. Take me a minute to work on him, guys, and we'll get back at it in just a second. Oh, by the way, always bring needle nose pliers when you're trout fishing. Man, talk about some rough terrain. Oh, things get a little bit better over here. Now we just gotta figure out a way to get down. Saw some fish in here, guys. They're up under those limbs. Just can't get in there without scaring the fish off. Unless we go across and get on the other side, then try to cast back up under there and let the current take the bait down for us. I believe that's what we're going to have to do. Oh, look at there, guys. trust me when I say there hadn't been too many people down here. There's just not too many people. It's crazy enough to try to get down here in some of this stuff. It's pretty dangerous. But sometimes that's what you got to do to get to the fish. Beautiful little brown. Just right in that little bit of current. Put him back down. There he goes. We might make another cast in there. Well, there could have just been that one fish holding there. There might be another one in there, but a lot of times in these smaller pockets, you'll catch one fish and that'll be it. But I mean, if you do that all day, by the end of the day, you'll have a limit. Nice stringer of fish to take home with you, or just a good day of fishing generally. So we're headed up the creek, guys. Another little pool, but I also found footprints. So I don't know when somebody's been down here. It doesn't look like it's been today. Maybe yesterday. Whoops. Oh, look at there. Heck yeah. Rainbow. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a rainbow. Nice little fish. Nice little pool too. I'm gonna put him down here. Let him go back. There he goes. Something else you got to worry about being out here. Look at that bad boy. I don't know what kind of spider it is. I don't care what kind of spider it is. But I know I'm not going to mess with him. A lot of spiders out in these woods. There's one. Get him loose and let him go. See if these campers over here might want him. Look at that little guy. That's a little native trout. First native trout of the day. These little guys are so beautiful. They look so much different than the fish that are put in here that are stocked. That's a cool little fish. Let him go. There you go, buddy. Cool. Standing way up on this rock. Not a big fish, but nevertheless, we'll have to work on trying to get him out with a needle nose. Standing way up on this rock down in this little pool. You just never know where these little rascals will be hiding. Let's get him loose. There's one. Look there. Figured there'd be at least one in there. All right. There you go, buddy. Look at him right there. Head first, right in the current. Just like a salmon. We'll fix the worm back up. I think we might get one more in here. Now this looks like this is promising right here, guys. Look at that. What are you talking about? First cast. Hooked him right in the bottom of the lip. Go back in here again. Might have been the only guy in there. See that little pool right over there? It's about impossible to cast in there, but I'd almost be 75% sure there's a trout in there. He's probably back up under that tree in that hole. There ain't no way I can get to him. Oh yeah. Nice little hole up here, guys. Right there goes a fish. I just seen a trout. Let's see if we can get... I see fishing line right there too, so somebody's been down here. Oh, had a bite. There he is. Oh, missed him. It's really tough to get in there with this wood. Trying to keep from getting hung up, but at the same time you want to try to keep the, you know, the lure in a good spot. Bite. There you go. Nope. Not a bite. Hung up. Had a bite. The bugs are horrible out here. There he is. That's a nice fish. We got that other guy loose. He's back in the water. Good to go. All the fish we caught today have been catch and release. Getting bites. There's this is gonna be a good spot to finish up our video, guys. I actually think this spot right here may have more fish in it than any other spot that we've come up on today. Let's see if we can at least catch. Well, not getting any more bites. Huh. That's what happens sometimes when you catch a fish, like I said, probably 3 or 4 times throughout the video already. Whew. I'm probably about 2.5 miles from the car. Kind of gives you some kind of idea about how much creek we've covered. don't see any little rascals in this one. Well guys, I tell you what, I've had a great time today. I hope you have too. This is going to be a lot longer video than probably I've ever made before, but I really wanted to try to take today to really show you guys and teach you guys about how to catch these fish in these tiny creeks. We missed several fish. I think we ended up catching, well, probably close to 15. There was a few we didn't get on the camera. But I hope and pray that it was informative enough to you guys. If you have any more questions, please comment and let me know. I'll do my best to try to answer those questions for you. And please take a minute to give this video a thumbs up. Would really be grateful for that. We're still trying to make 1,000 subscribers. We put out, goodness gracious, I bet we've got over 30 videos, and we're about at 770. So your subscription would make a big impact on our channel. We'd be grateful for that. And I'm worn out, guys. It's time for me to go get something to eat. I just want to say God bless as always. We'll see you again next time, and happy fishing.